For the double exposure project, your goal is going to be create something where it's demonstrating all of the skills that are in this tutorial, and there's basically two different ways you could do this, but what you're looking for is a blend mode of your choice, a mask or a clipping mask, and I'll show you what both of those do. And this is basically the gateway and the entryway into doing this kind of work, and the background is either going to be a gradient or a color, a single color, solid color background. So I'm going to go ahead and take us through. First of all, just like before, you're going to go to Unsplash, or you could use a portrait of yourself. That's what I use for this tutorial. And then for Unsplash, if you want to use a texture, or you could go to one of the shots that you use for textures, because textures and repetition tend to work really well with this. And there are advantages to doing it one way versus the other, and I'll get into that when I show you. So first we're going to do it the clipping way, and just like before, there's two different types of tools for selections. You could do the lasso tool and hand draw and clean it up, but you know, in the last couple of years this tool just turned out really a lot better than it used to be. You can see there's a little problem right there that can be fixed up, and those hairs can be fixed up. So if you see the selection mask tool, there's some brushes that would let you do that. The selection mask tutorial shows you how to do that. But it made a pretty decent selection, so I'm going to go with this. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to layer via a copy, because I want a copy of that layer. And I'm going to take that layer and place it directly onto my background. And in doing so, I have to do a little bit of repositioning because I want it to look like it's connected. And there we go. And I also want the background layer on top. And in order to do that, I've got to unlock it because it knows it wants to be on the bottom. So if you unlock the background layer, it becomes a layer you can put on top. Now here, if you right click in this space, and I know it's hard to see that, but I'm going to scroll down, and just trust me when I say that, there is an option that says Create Clipping Mask. And what that does is it links this image to the mask that you've already created by making that selection. So basically, it knows that you don't want this to be there, just there in the same space. And once you do that, this is where you're going to choose blending mode and an opacity mode, because both of these things have an impact. Right now it's normal blending mode, so it's basically the more you strip away, you're just seeing kind of a double exposure of both. But there are other blending modes available, and so as I scroll down and try different blending modes, and I might have to bring the opacity down, you're going to see a different look between all of them. And so what I'm doing is I'm cycling down that blending modes option just so you can quickly see the difference in how the blend works. And each blend just depends on the light of the subject and the light of the background. Some of them are more obvious than others, and you're looking for a style that you think works with the combination. So some of these really just don't work as well as others. I saw this one. I'm going to stick with that one. That's called Vivid Light. So now I've got a blend mode, Vivid Light. I've got my background layer on top. It's linked. And next, I want to change opacity just to play around with the way that would look until I get the look that I'm going for. The last step for this mode is to go down to this item menu right here, and you're going to create. And I think I gotta hover on this one, and again you can't see it because of the field of the recording, but you're gonna click on that button and go down to either a solid color or a gradient. For this one I'm gonna do solid color, and in that you get a color picker and a lot of variety in colors that you could choose. I'm gonna go with something kind of a dark blue because I want it to blend well, and hit OK. And then I just need to bring that layer down below so that it's providing the backdrop for the double exposure that I created. The final step would be to take the entire image and crop it to a 2x3, which it looks like it already is. But I might tighten it up just a little bit, if for no other reason, just to eliminate that bottom edge so that it matches well. Okay, return. And there we go. This one you're going to, like the other project, save as a PSD file and turn in the PSD file because I want to see the layer work that you did. So that is the Photoshop file.